see what's going on. Oh no, we gotta do something. Alright, I'm here. Yes, I'm here. Okay, good. Don't forget to live. Alright, I'm here. Yes, I'm here. Okay, good. Don't forget to live stream. So I kind of using my tripod now, so I don't have to hold my hand out to do this, which is good, but you know, I have to be upfront with you. This is definitely the hardest part about it is trying to angle. Okay, there we go. Can I do that? Okay, great. All right, perfect. I figured out how to use like a tripod. All right. Wow, I learned that on my own. Thank God. If only that skill warranted me $5. I appreciate that. It does look better when I don't have to like do things. I'm meeting with a special friend tomorrow, and hopefully I can try to get things coordinated. All right, so we're walking, we're talking. The important thing is I'm getting outside today. So I'm having some ideas, kind of like cooking in my head. I downloaded Blender, so I really, I can't tell you how inspired I am by how much I am inspired by me characters, and how I really like those characters. I managed to pre-order the Fire Emblem Collector's Edition. Nice! Let me guess. Are we talking about Fire Emblem? I think I know what you're talking about. Fire Emblem. Yeah, that's the one. So I have to be upfront, like, when it comes to content creation it's like you can have so many ideas but not have the resources to get the ideas done, where you're kind of just hitting a wall. And this is where I am again, and this has always been an issue for me. The saddest part is I bought my capture card like 3-4 years ago, and now that doesn't work anymore. So now I have to either figure out how to do boot NTR, which is a nightmare, or it's just really frustrating right now. So all right, Zenith, are you still here? I was looking at the Japanese title of the game. Literally 10,000 violet, 1,000 crimson. It's a Chinese phrase, but means lots of vibrant colors or something. So quite a big difference. So here's my question. Okay, so how much do we know about the story of Fortune Weave? Because with 3 houses, like, are they going to have multiple separate branching paths? So, I mean, good afternoon. I love 3 houses. 3 houses, to me, took the Fire Emblem formula, and they really, like, did 3 things that were amazing. They structured the game in this kind of school aesthetic. They used storytelling, and also they kind of just elevated the gameplay in terms of, like, new classes and everything. And even though even though they are taking ideas that have already existed, they still made it feel fresh. And that was what's so great about 3 houses. And I will say this, like, some of it can be very time consuming from a player perspective. Like, I remember playing it, and it's like, I'm shocked how many hours I probably played 3 houses. I think I probably played like 50 or 100 hours of 3 houses. And 3 houses, like, took a lot of time. That being said, I definitely play New Horizons more. What are you saying? I spent more time analyzing the Xenoblade trailer, not getting into... I'm guessing it's 4... What is it? 4 routes. So it's definitely interesting the path they're taking, because the problem I have with Fire Emblem is it's definitely a game where it's like you have to like hunker down and sit down with the game to play to get the benefit of, like Tomodachi Life or this or this. So here's my problem with these games. I love these games. They're great games. But it's like, how do you set aside the time to play it and make money as a content creator? So that's the big problem. And I'm coming up with ideas to execute. Yeah, like there were some levels, it took me hours. It's like, unless someone was gonna spoon feed me, like, I can't tell you how long it took me to find, actually, so to speed run Find Me, like, let me give you a time sink for that, right? So when I was speed running Find Me, that probably only took me about, like, really, like, some background thinking. So do you ever just, like, go about your business in a day and you're kind of, like, plotting your plans of, like, other activities while you're doing other things? Does that make any sense? So when I saw the Find Me speedrun and I formulated how I was going to do it, I basically just took notes mentally and like kind of did the schematic thing about how I was doing the game. And so the part of the brain that was kind of like being functionality into that was like background thinking, and I thought that was really cool. So what's everyone saying? So much time and concentration, right? Also, to be honest, like, Find Me is a lot faster as a game. I mean, it's very A to B objective, and, like, I think the novelty of Find Me is really through the Spree Pass functionality, technically speaking. So, that license plate says Miss Piggy. I'm gonna get some physical exercise today. The only thing that keeps me lean. I can redeem myself, so. Hey Coco. So I was watching a video, and I think you'd love it. It was Kit and Krista with Nathaniel Bandy. And while I'm not the biggest Nathaniel Bandy fan, he crumbled up my flyer for Street Pass Live 2 back in 2024 of PAX West. While I'm not the biggest fan of Nathaniel Bandy, oh, I think it looks great. I have to be upfront. Like, I was actually shocked when I looked at Xenoblade Genesis. I mean, I confess, like, I don't know the Xenoblade franchise that well, but, like, at first I thought it was a new RPG. So, I didn't know it very well. My biggest thing, though, with these RPGs is they're very big time sinks, right? I have to set aside amount of time to play the game, and it's not a game I feel very savvy with. So I have to be upfront, like, I love RPGs, but it's like, if I'm going to sit down and hunker with an RPG, it says several nations with conflicts in politics. Oh yeah, it definitely, like, Xenoblade, I definitely think when it comes to video games, it's definitely an art imitating life kind of thing, and life imitating art. So I do love that. It said, an inverted planet that is hopefully fully open. So the storyline path, the graphics do look artistically impressive. I say that because I think that's what Nintendo really tries to go for. And so when they do these, like, realism aspects, they're really trying to flex the powerhouse of the Switch 2, which I think is fascinating. Oh. So I do love that about the Switch 2. Oh yeah, I'm sure it is. Guys, do you think I should do a poll about moving to South Dakota? Zenith, do you like that one? Hey Zenith, should I do a poll about South Dakota? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The joke has to be said. I have to say the joke. I'm not saying the source, but I'll just say the joke. South Dakota. Yeah, South Dakota. Like, imagine moving to a bum F nowhere, not knowing what to do. And it's like, look, I'm all for getting lost in the wilderness and enjoying your time with nature. I think that's very healing. I think that's very, like, soul satisfying. However, if I'm gonna go somewhere, I don't want to go somewhere with no plan. That's basically like asking for last year times duh. Like, I do not want last year times deluxe. That's a bad thing, right? So, so I have a confession about Xenoblade. So I played the first one on the Wii. That's where it came out, right? The first Xenoblade came out on Wii, right? Yeah, I know the difference between those games. I might not know all JRPGs. I'm not like super JRPG literate, but it's like knowing a language and knowing some phonetics without actually knowing the language. Does that make any sense? So I am aware of Xenoblade. I have played a little bit of Xenoblade, but I have a confession. So when I rented Xenoblade from my public library, I know a library has games, I could only play for an hour because my Nintendo Wii disc reader was compromised. That's right, my Wii basically became brick. I mean, technically speaking, it was still functional. Like, it had the virtual games, but essentially at that point, it's like, just move your games to the Wii U. Oh, I would love to. I would love to play those games, but I'm more in a time crunch of money, and I really need to focus on making content that's going to bring me gold. Rather than, like, it's the sad thing. It's like, I would love to play things that are my passions. Like, you should have seen me smiling playing Star Fox. I had fun. But, I'm not going to lie, in the back of my head, the adult part of me was kicking me in the face, being like, but this isn't making you money. So that's why we need to really hunker down and sit down and come up with plans and make plans and execute tasks and learn from failure and accept failure and not look at failure and focus on what you've learned and take that and pave it forward. That's the point of life, right? So, right. The sad part is when you have egg on your face or paint like Carrie from freaking Prom Style. So that's going to be an interesting thing, I think. So can anyone summarize the plots of 1, 2, and 3? Because I don't know much of Xenoblade. So I have played JRPGs. And if you ask me like the usual tropes, because tropes exist in movies and films and everything, it doesn't matter. It's like, we can all accept something for what it is, but tropes will exist, right? So the most common trope is, and this is kind of the truth, is some sort of structural construct of government, usually sadly in the place of religion, is ruining humanity because of unchecked authoritative figures. That's usually how a lot of JRPGs, particularly Final Fantasy, so especially 10. Like 10 does that like to a crazed possessive level, right? Like when you look at Final Fantasy 10, it's like, oh, they have a religion named Yevon. And the final boss is named Sin. Wow, a lot of loaded imagery there. So, and one of the popes is essentially one of the major villains. If you've ever played Final Fantasy X, you know what I'm talking about. So, right, what else am I thinking of right now? So tell me more about Final Fantasy Resonance. Absurdly, oh yeah. I mean, it's $60 for a pixel whatever thingy. The emotional and sometimes the dark, but the storytelling and Xenoblade 3 is connected to 1 and 2 for playing 1 and 2 before. Like, are we talking about plot? Oh, sorry. Are we talking about plot points or? So, my twin brother was really into Baten Kaitos, and that's made by the same company, by Monolith Soft. Oh god. It's funny that you say that, Kalaka Boy. Which mobile Final Fantasy game? Because be careful, because All the Bravest is one of the worst mobile games ever. Have you played All the Bravest? The plot is peak. I don't want to go into depth and definitely want to stay unspoiled. How about this? Summarize the plot catalyst for me. Like, just take the settings, name some of the main characters and what their motives are, and you don't name plot twists, don't name, just say like their goals and aspirations, and just condense it in a way that's like, so-and-so is wanting a better future for XYZ. Like, I'll give you a perfect plot synopsis. Like, Grandia 2. Main character. Oh, Ryudo is a geohound, and he's a mercenary. And he's hired by this church to protect this songstress named Elena, to essentially protect her from this evil deity. There you go. That's all I need. I don't need, like, all of the bells and whistles of the plot. I just need the bare bones explanation. That's an example. So, all right. Let me see what happened to live chat. I've never played them before. It's Brave Chapter 1. Okay. Right, I know Shulk. I know the character. Gets a revenge motive at the start with his goal to reach the robot titan IIRC. IIRC. Oh, I imagine. I imagine there's a lot more to the plot than that. I imagine there's like, you know, and a lot of these plots, like, that's like saying Final Fantasy X, it's like someone was like, Nick, summarize Final Fantasy X without giving too many details. And I'm like, perfect, I can do that. So you have a main character by the name of Titus, and Titus has a friend named Orin who shows up after a sports match in this game called, the game is called Blitzball, which is like volleyball underwater. It's the best way I can summarize it. And essentially, you get transported from your homeland to a new location in a different time period to essentially save the world with a summoner named Yuna. Like, that's as bare bones as it is. What is your thoughts on the fact that Fire Emblem costs $80? Honestly, this really depends on a lot of things. So, I don't know if anybody knows this, but when Three Houses came out, it was what, it was $60, right? So, Three Houses with DLC was like, what, 80? So, let's keep that in mind. And if there's 4 routes, if Fortune's Weave has 4 routes, I think we could justify it, right? I think we could justify Fortune's Weave being 80. But like, I think the game has to have enough content to really get away with it. Because, so I didn't like Fire Emblem Engage. Did anyone play that? That game felt very bare bones. Like, I played a demo of it, and I was like, this is okay. But this is like Fire Emblem without the story. And the thing is, like, Fire Emblem without a story is like basically a map without directions. It's like, where am I going? What am I doing? I'm throwing it away. It's trash. I'm sure Fortune's Weave will be a minimum of 200 hours for Hard Classic. Oh, I love Fire Emblem. If you ask me what to start with, what Fire Emblem games would I... there's Path of Radiance. That's a fantastic game. If you had to play the first one, I would say that would probably show you the bare bones aspect of basically like character progression and story. And I think like it does kind of like a Pokemon-esque way of like having your characters fulfill a certain role and doing the traditional triangular system of like I'm trying to remember, like I think it's swords beat axes, axes beat lances, beat swords. If I remember, that's the weapon system. But I think they've changed it. And there's definitely elemental. There's like thunder, fire, and I'm trying to remember wind, right? It's thunder, fire, wind. So like everything is done in sort of this triangular fashion. So it's kind of like if you have a fighting game, and a fighting game has... So if you were going to ask me that question, I think it comes down to taste. I would have to agree with Zenith. Three Houses is the best entry. Then I'd probably put Awakening right below Three Houses. Awakening is amazing. Like, you talk about the DLC, you talk about... Yeah, I have to agree with Zenith. That's a tough question, because Zenith is probably doing that from gaming taste. So I think that really depends on taste. It's like, what do you want out of your experience? It's like watching a movie. It's like, oh, I can only watch Backrooms or Obsessions. Okay. Do you want a movie that's grounded in social interactions, or do you want a movie grounded in paranoia? There you go. That's an example. They're super different kinds of games, exactly. So okay, let's see what you're saying. Also, surprised there's no new Mario game. I'm not surprised. I think with Nintendo, I think their thoughts were gamers are going to be more preoccupied with the Zelda remake, so we don't want Mario to be here. I think that's what they're thinking. I mean, honestly, I think that's stupid. I think there should be a new Mario game, but like, I mean, there's still a decent amount of games. Like, I'm not going to say the games are bad. I do have some problems when I start reflecting back on that. Let's be honest, that Direct was bloated, right? We can agree. Like, I want to enjoy it because it stopped it. There was a stream that I watched. You needed to cut the fat. I was like, you're kind of right. Like, there was a lot in that stream that you kind of just watched. And you were like, this isn't bad. However, why am I watching a lot of titles that are not really wanting to grab my attention? Because, like, if we named 3 titles, and I think we can all agree, like, the top 3, I guess 4, if you want to throw it in there, we have to throw it in, is Fire Emblem, Zelda. Technically, The Legend of Zelda, but, even with the leak, and I think this is true, I think the fascinating thing about the leak is that The thing about the Zelda leak, and I think this is important to say, is that with the Zelda leak, there was bloat, but the dopamine I got from outweighed it. Okay, that's good. I think that the Ocarina of Time, if I just watched that portion, I would have gotten my fill. I felt very tired watching the direct. I'm not gonna hold back in saying, like, I remember watching that entire direct, and I thought the Xenoblade thing was awesome. I thought the Kingdom Hearts thing surprised me, because at first they were kind of like doing a soft opening and being like, oh, 2 and 3 are playable on Switch too, and I'm like, oh, that's okay. And then Kingdom Hearts 4, and I'm like, wow, impressive. I feel like the only way to stay lean as you get older if you play video games is to walk while playing video games. If only I could do that. But I'd have to play on a treadmill. Like, I would just do that. I'd play on a treadmill, and then I would just body do the work. It's like, you know, if gamers had a treadmill and they stood up while playing a game, they would definitely not have to worry about, like... And as far as getting tired, it's like, if I walk at a pretty slow pace, it keeps me awake enough where... What are you saying? You're one of the first times in Japan, right? It's so weird that Nintendo makes directs super late for Japan, super early for America, and perfectly... Yeah, that's very true. I think the big problem when it came to Nintendo is you could tell they were definitely in like a very mid stance. It's like, they're not as bad as Wii U. Like, Wii U, they were struggling. But they weren't as, like, at peak of, say, Wii or... Like, I look at Nintendo at their peak, and I would definitely say the Wii and DS era, even GameCube, they were still high up there. Like, I think GameCube, they were still at their peak. The problem with GameCube was they were competing against heavy hitters. And it's like, it's hard to be, like, just a decent singer and then basically compete people that are like mega F pop stars. You know what I'm saying? It's like, imagine walking into a room and your skill level is commendable, but because everybody else bulldozes you to hell, you're screwed. So it doesn't really give you a lot of leg room to do anything, and you're kind of just like, why? So, although I will say I'm kind of happy that Scary Movie 6 got dethroned by YouTubers, because as much as I appreciate the Wayans brothers with the first Scary Movie and even the second one, this Scary Movie 6 was disappointing. It's like, when you compare it to like the Amazing Digital Circus last act, that was just kind of eh. God, my whole, like, my nose feels chlorinated as frig. Do you think Nippon will come back for Xenoblade Genesis? That's excellent to ask. God. My nose, man, today. My nose. So, Kalaka Boy, I have a question to ask about LA. I have a friend coming tomorrow, and I might ask him for assistance. We'll see what he says, if I can get maybe some way to get down to LA. So... I don't think they showed any in the initial Xenoblade 3. I'm guessing that's a character. What was the question? Regarding LA? So I'm gonna ask a friend of mine to assist with transportation. And hopefully it won't be like a tremendous task. And I will ask politely, and if they say F fuck no, I have to tell you, hey, this is what they told me. So, we'll see what happens. There's definitely ideas I want to do for VidCon, but I don't know if I can execute them. Because it's going to rely on participation. Welcome. At least they didn't hit me like a scooter. Alright, there's a bike coming down this way. So... You know, I have to say, Kalaka Boy, I figured out how to utilize this as a makeshift selfie stick, and I'm really happy that I learned. And I'm really happy that I became patient to learn that. I just wish that my skills could actually pay the bills. So that's where I'm at right now. In Xenoblade X, they make a reoccurrent where they threaten to cook and eat one of the Nippon. So is a Nippon like an animal, or what is a Nippon? A cat? So it's a cat? I'm guessing it's a cat. You know what that makes me think of when you say Nippon? Have you heard of Monster Hunter? Like, those little cats look like Nippons. Are those also Nippons? Am I even pronouncing it correctly? I kind of feel like when Creighton Kista... not right now. I'm in very tentative plans right now. So, I'm in very, trying to nail down final plans. Whether or not I can... I would say worst case scenario... Okay, someone's showing a picture of Nippon, I'll watch it. You sent me a pic, let's see if I can even view it while streaming. Okay. Okay. That almost looks like one of the creatures in... You know what that looks like? That almost looked like one of the cat creatures in, Yeah, I saw it. As far as next Friday goes, I cannot tell you any plans right now. I'm still trying to schedule and look at my options. So, I think what I'll end up doing is probably try to come down... what week is this? Right, the 10th. Okay. So, we'll find out. No pawn. Like, no pawn. So, I want to get back to a stream I was watching that I thought was really good real quick. So, and then we can go back to your conversation about Xenoblade. So I thought it was fascinating how Kit and Krista were talking about Nintendo adamantly desperate to sell games that they believe that would fail. But I think the toughest part is because really when you talk about Kit and Krista and their aspects of speculation and predictions, they're basically as good as people trying to make plays at a sports game. So if they're on the money, they vibed with everything and everything went up their hill. If they don't, ooh, tough. Then it's like, damn, now what do you do? So, what am I trying to really narrow it to? So, they talked about Code World Steam or something like that, or Codename Steam. It was where, like, Will Wheaton was Abraham Lincoln. And actually, it's funny, Kalaka Boy, you bought me that game. And I actually did want to play it, but my capture card's broken, so I can't play it. I'm walking outside right now. I wish I had a second phone, because my current phone loves to get full of data so quickly, and it's hard to record things. Happy birthday to me. Hi, happy birthday, Oliver. I think sometimes... Woo, I love your dog. So... Happy Womb Escape Day. What are you saying? Let's see. I'm not seeing Tessa in the chat very a lot. I think I saw her comment once, and then she just bopped out. I really just wish I had someone to constructively help me on things. And this basically just goes back to my years of basically always being alone. And I kind of hate that. And the worst part is, it's like, if your own family weren't the bully, the world is your bully. And you don't know how to fight back and stand up for yourself because you grew up too fast in a world that is changing so quickly. Everything is always moving attention to something else. That's why I don't like. So I really want and need to have these plans work at least once in my life. You know, the hardest part about being a Street Pass group leader from years ago was not just having members that were very bitter because they didn't have what they wanted, but also like trying to explain to them, like, hey, I spent money on the room. I spent money on the pizza. I did this for you. So what are you contributing? Your opinion? Your opinion is only good when you actually do some kind of weight behind it. And if you just basically walk into a room of strangers and you basically say, this stinks, I just look at it and be like, well, you can leave. So, you know, I don't like people like that, and I just wish that people were genuinely more open. And it's sad for me to say, but it's like, I look back to the 2011 launch of the 3DS, and what are you saying? That's awesome. I appreciate that, Clockboy. So let's go back to 2011 launch of the 3DS. That really had a wonderful unifying aspect of bringing people together for a video game launch. And, you know, Street Fighter 4 was and is one of the most technically impressive games on a handheld. And then on top of that, you had a couple of other good games. You had Dead or Alive Dimensions. Then you had Mario Kart 7, Star Fox 64 3D, Ocarina of Time. It's like, you talk about the 3DS in its first year, it's literally one of the best years that the 3DS had. There are definitely other good years, you know, 2013. You have Fire Emblem Awakening, Animal Crossing New Leaf. It's so beautiful out today, at least. I do appreciate having my phone this way. So I really do want to go to LA right now. I just need a break in Seattle. I need a new environment. I need new people to talk to. I need to explore. I need to be happy. I'm 38 years old and I shouldn't be living within too much restriction and constriction. It's gonna make me depressed. So that's good. Thank you for letting us know. I do appreciate that, Zenith. I don't like hearing that you have to go to the hospital. I don't. And did you go to the emergency room? How was your trip? How was your visit? Really? Probably not on Final Fantasy unless you want to buy it. I'm broke. Like, the only, we really need to get into crunch mode and get content made.
So, anyway.
And if my channel can start making some money, like, I'm looking at all my options right now. And I'm definitely making the effort to go to VidCon. The key word is effort. It doesn't mean it's a guarantee. It just means it's what I would like to do. You know, this kind of reminds me when I was in cross country and I was faced with backlash by my own family about doing a sport and them being very hesitant about me having my own time to myself. All right, I went to the ER, it was okay. They did an x-ray and for me to, because they said it's chronic, they're gonna call me next week. Okay. So I have to tell you, one of my favorite things about Fire Emblem 3 Houses is absolutely the ability to explore the school and then basically not just explore the school, but okay, and I just got it. So I liked 3 Houses. I hope that they do something like that in Fortune's Weave. I wonder, like, so what do you think with Fortune's Weave, let's get this straight, right? With Fortune's Weave. Oh yeah, I agree. I think my favorite thing about exploring the monastery of 3 Houses is it made you feel like, I'm sorry, I'm trying to construct my thoughts together. Nice, thank you, Kalaka Boy. I thought someone was talking. Okay. They didn't announce any DLC for Fortune's Weave. You know, I think when it comes to a game and DLC, I think they need to just preface it with either DLC will be TBA or TBD, and then that's it. Like, honestly, with DLC, like with Fire Emblem Three Houses, I could have lived without DLC knowing it had DLC. Like, we had DLC for Awakening, and that felt like an extra treat. A game has to feel like an entire meal before I start feeling like my satiety factor and being like, can I make space for extra room? Does that make any sense? And then I have to ask, like, how am I going to pencil this in? So, and the thing is, like, I want to play a game and enjoy it as thoroughly as possible, but I can't enjoy a game, right? I can't enjoy a game knowing how many hours I have to sink into it when it's, like, ridiculous. We're putting our sunglasses on. It's really hot outside. Actually, it's not hot. It's just, it's pleasant. There's a little bit of cool breeze, but it's warmer than yesterday. So, one of my ideas of going to VidCon is I have Meme Maker, and I will go to certain content creators and ask if they want to make their me via Meme Maker, and I'll make a short video of them. We're gonna find how quick people say yes or no. Like, and then they'll be like, I'm gonna charge you money. I just wish that there was more open community aspect to content creation. So it makes me miss the late 2000s, early 2010s aspect of content creation. Okay, I'm gonna keep walking. So, fun fact, I made chia seed pancakes this morning, and I really enjoyed them. I really enjoyed having some chia seed pancakes. So they were nice, they were fun, they were fluffy, they were light. And then I just basically, I made them with water, flour, chia seeds, chocolate syrup, and honey. So that's why I'm burning the calories off right now. Hopefully I'll get my Japanese 3DS back. So what are we saying in the comment section? All right, anybody else have anything to say? So we're at 15-minute mark of the walk. I'm still walking right now. You know what the hardest thing about getting older is? reminding yourself to stay within healthy eating habits. So, and trust me when I say this, like, as soon as you start to fall off, you fall off very quick. Like, I remember even in the 2010s, I had to watch my portion sizes. And I think the thing is, like, defining satiety is so hard because there's so many things that get in the way of satiety. It's like, are you with friends? Are you with this? Are you with this? And all right, let's see what else we got here. No one else is saying anything. Yeah, as far as like playing games go, like my goal is mainly to more make content. And it's like, again, my channel was founded off Street Pass and off Knees. And Knees had a big coming back, and I really just want to eat all healthier. That's good. That's good. Is there someone behind me? I always have that skepticism of like, is someone following me? The downside of being a content creator and living in this world. That's cool. You know, I really do miss my 2DS collection. Having it stolen last year was really heartbreaking to me. I can't tell you how much, like, my broke down in tears. Like, I know people are like, get over it. It's like, you don't understand it. It's like, when you have your personal property vandalized and destroyed, whether it's over the phone or in person, it's not a fun experience. And people don't realize that the saddest thing is when it happens, people will just yell in your face, you're just a victim. And then it's like, right. So do you see a problem with that? I didn't like you. And then you're just like, okay. And then they'll just say, but you're complaining or whatever. It's like, look, what do you want me to tell you? Tell you that the sky is blue when I'm bleeding? So I don't understand people. I really just don't. Hi, doggy. I don't understand people when they're willing to make narratives, but they're not willing to listen to a person. Or better yet, when people listen, but they tell you to move to South Dakota. Dude, it's like, wow, Nick, you're really going there. It's like, yeah, I can't help it. South Dakota. Alan Henny. You probably don't get the Alan Henny joke. They are pricey, though. Look, Kalaka boy, if you want me to eat somewhere, like, we can just go to Trader Joe's. We don't have to eat pricey. You can just stock me up on salads, and I will literally eat salad upon salad upon salad. I don't care. You don't have to spend an arm and a leg on me. I want to tell this to you. Like, I appreciate you going out of your way. If you want to take me out to dinner once, maybe twice, to a decent restaurant, that's fine. But I don't, when people do nice favors to me, refer me. I don't know about Five Guys. I don't know about Five Guys. So, let's go back to the Kitten Krista. Right, Kitten Krista, Nathaniel Bandy interview. I thought it was really cool about what they had to say about their experiences at Nintendo. You know, I saw a comment regarding me about Smash Brothers and Krista, and I have to tell you, my only experiences with them are I met them at San Francisco store in New York, I'm sorry, San Francisco store at Nintendo, the Nintendo San Francisco store last year. Right, I saw them, where else did I see them? PAX West in 2024. They skipped East that year. I'm trying to think what else. They were... Yeah, Five Guys is not healthy. Five Guys is like, rush me to the heart attack. It's like, and trust me when I say, it's like, can it be frustrating as you get older to have to really lean your dietary choice for your own health? Yeah, it's very frustrating. But would I rather watch my weight and my health and be more on top of my habits all day, every day? You know, it's very easy for your body's weight to get out of whack as you get older. And trust me, you either are exercising all day, every day, watching your portions, counting calories, or you're basically just, it's like, how do I put it into words about adulting and weight and health? It's like, unless you want to look like a lard ass, it's just the truth. It's like, especially like after San Francisco's Switch 2 launch, I had gained 20 pounds, and I don't have a very big frame. If I put on that much weight, it's very detrimental to my health. So I always try to aim the goal of keeping my weight down to 160, and preferably more in the 150s range. The problem though is like basically gay beauty standards. Like, I can't tell you how annoying it is to put yourself out into the world and people tell you either too skinny or too fat, and you're just like, well, how about you, instead of judge me based on my weight, you actually see me as a person. That's cool, we can do boba. So I do want to bring back some of my shorts that I did from last year. So I had boba the other day, and it was okay. It's hard for me to explain how I feel about boba. Popping boba is good, though. So as far as filling as much as I want, I just want to have an appropriate portion. I don't want to I don't want to be a lard ass while eating. Like, I'm not trying to like be on The Biggest Loser. So I can definitely stress and tell you that I do not like being a big person. I like indulging. I like being able to have fun, but I don't like it when the indulgence starts to wreak havoc. Like, that's not fun. still walking. The sad part is you get older, you still feel your gallbladder even after having gallstone attacks. That's the one thing I don't like about getting older. Oh God. If I could tell you the stories of gallstone issues. It's not fun, it's scary, and you always get worried that your health is going to take a hit. You know what's funny? Sometimes when I look at myself on stream in certain lights, I'll feel like my skin is turning yellow. Do you ever see that like lighting will play a trick on you and it's like you look at yourself and it's like, do I have jaundice? And then you wake up the next day and your skin is perfectly white and you're like, oh, it's just my brain playing tricks on me, or it's just the lighting being a dick. And it's like, got it. Okay, so that's the fun parts when it comes to getting older. You want to visit downtown again? Oh, we can do that. We can do that. I would love that. So what I might do is I would love to do kind of a yearbook kind of thing with my 3DS and MeMaker. And so, you know, I kind of regret not. So remember when we went to, what's it called, and I recorded all that stuff, my 2DS XL? I think I still have that footage, but I never uploaded it to YouTube. And I'm kind of upset that I kind of 86'd that project, but do you want to talk about the Direct again? Because I have to be honest with you, like when I start reflecting back on that Direct, there are people saying it was the worst Direct. I don't think it was that bad. I've seen, like, I can point to Directs where they're awful, where they're bad. Like, I would probably say 2015. And the sad part is, like, I hate saying 2015 was a bad Direct, but it's like, if you ask me, why is 2015 a bad Direct? Because Star Fox Zero, while great on presentation, and it pains me to say that, right? It's like when a child disrespects its parent. It's like Star Fox. If Star Fox was my child and it presented itself Zero, I'd be like, what are you on? Like, you know what I mean? So when I played Zero at E3 2015, I couldn't help but feel like this game is disappointing. This game is abysmal. This game is not very good. I have to text Harrison and see how he's doing on my 3DS and Wii U. Because if he hasn't done what I've asked, ouch. I'm still waiting on my consoles to be fixed. I really just hate this right now. Yeah. Like, the surgery is actually worthless. So here's the thing about the surgery that no one talks to you about. Really, a lot of it's diet and stress management. And while life can get in the way, it's hard for me to explain, right? It's like, you know, as I've gotten older, I've had to grow and accept to like gauge scenarios where if someone is stressing me out, like say, I hate to say his name, but my twin brother, right? Say my twin brother is in the room screaming and yelling at me. Do you think I'm gonna have pizza that day? Like, I'm not gonna eat poorly on a day that my brother is like draining me. When I lost my phone on that Lyft ride, right? This is one of the worst times ever. I lost my phone during a Lyft ride. I didn't eat until dinner. I basically fasted. I basically was starving myself. Because, why? Because if I ate while stressing about my phone, that would have done like double damage duty on me and I would have been screwed. And it's like, while... So if you ask me my relation with my health and my weight, usually my ideal is to keep it in the 150 range and nothing too above 160. Alright, we're gonna walk over this way. Yeah, I can wear a green hat. I wonder what they would think of my San Francisco hat. Alright, we're not going this way. This road is dangerous. Alright. So, I really mean this when I say it. I really want to move back to the East Coast. I've reflected on this year and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just try to ride out the rest of my time here and try to be productive, play video games, have fun, and then like I'm gonna try to work on my content creation. And so this is gonna be tough because this is a lot of unventured territory. It's a ton of unventured territory. I'm scared. And I don't know if I have the skills or abilities to do something. And there's a lot of bullying online. And unfortunately, I'm very susceptible to bullying. And I have to do everything I can to not listen to the toxic fan bases communities. This is one of the worst times to be alive, honestly. So I'd rather be any other time period than now. I'd rather someone taking back to the 2000s. I'd rather someone taking back to even the early 2010s. So nice. I'll check them out. I'm probably not going to buy anything. I have to really shoestring my budget. So remember, I can't bring a selfie stick to Disney. The guy will just tell me, you need to take that away. Unless we want Tippy to join along. You know how fun that'll be. I'm Tipster, and I don't like that you're in Disneyland. And Disneyland costs money, even though you're in downtown Disney. It's like, that was just an earful. The saddest part is I literally could record my entire process going through that and showing them my budget and everything, and they would still make a narrative and be like, well, we just don't have to believe you. And it's like, you know, it's really sad when someone has shown absolute 1000% transparency and you just choose to not believe them because you don't like them. That's retarded and stupid. It literally is. And I don't care if someone says you can't use the R word. It's like, no, because that's what it is. It's like calling the kettle black. It's like happiness. It's like, if you want me to give you a candy-coated BS experience, I'd do that. Oh, God. Why am I walking in the middle of nowhere? Who's with me right now? Is it Zenith and Kalaka Boy? Oh, God damn. Kind of. You're here and you're here. I have to go back out a moment. Hold on. Okay, so I don't think I can monitor people, unfortunately, and truth. No matter, we've already acknowledged this, but we have to remember every day. There will always be trolls on the internet. There's nothing we can do to stop the trolls. The only thing we can do is choose our own actions. We have to keep remembering that every day. And if they're going to be around, they're going to just spread their discourse and minutia, and we have to just push them away. So I'm still walking up this hill. Oh my God, this is a hill. Go ahead. Okay. I like your shirt.
Are you filming?
I'm on vlogging.
Oh.
She's like, oh my God, don't get me on camera. Oh. I'm walking. I'm telling myself the reason why I'm walking today is for my own personal journey and health. I doubt it. Honestly, let's be upfront here, and I'll be upfront about Tipster. Tipster's canceled himself many times. So people can say what they want about me, and I'm not gonna, look, I'll own my mistakes, but when it comes to Tipster, Tipster's problem is that he's always like, this is Tipster in a nutshell. I don't want to talk about drama because I don't want to be involved. Ooh, drama, let's talk about it. So that's basically him. He has stepped away from what I've seen, because unfortunately it's basically like, if you've ever heard of a certain song from TLC where you have to keep eyes on your enemy because you don't know what they're going to say about you. It's like one of those things where, even sadly my own brother, where I try to push him away, but I have to keep him in eyes view, where it's like, I just have to make sure they're leaving me alone. So, right. So let's get into it. So, TLDR, basically with the whole Tipster scenario, is that he's only playing Resident Evil. That's all he's focused on right now. He's only playing Resident Evil games. He has removed all of his drama content. Actually, I should put a mega asterisk on that. So when Tipster does a purge, Tipster will either unlist or private videos, most likely private. So what Tipster has done is private the videos, and then when he is convenient, he'll re-upload those videos. He's never been someone who stand by his content. He's not. He will act like he's learning, when in reality he's just holding a grudge for the rest of his life. That's who he has always been. And it's like, anyone can say things about me. It's like, look, I've had quite the life, okay? I don't know where I'm living some days in life. I don't know what I'm doing, but even though I've gone through my stories and experiences, it doesn't mean that I don't keep moving. Maybe my progress is hard to define, but it doesn't mean I don't keep moving. And that's how people need to live. So, all right, we're making progress. Let's see what we're at. Yeah, I honestly doubt it. You know what's funny? So my friend Michael messaged me about Tipster. And I had the absolute pleasure of sending a picture of what Tipster looks like today. And when my friend saw that, he started bursting into laughter. And I was like, told you. And like, even some of my other friends were like, I think he has an identity crisis. Like, Yes, it's the same photo you sent me. The photo you sent me is what I sent to my friend. And my friend burst into laughter. And look, when I say this with the utmost respect and honesty and politeness. However, that being said, no matter what your journey is or what you do, no matter your journey or what you do, it won't take away the things that Tipster has done. And that's just the facts. And it's like, we can call a spade, we can make narratives, but it's like, look, bro, you made drama content what you made of, but you made drama content that was not always aligning with people. And then you did Susie Lou, and we all know how that went, and then basically YouTube honored Susie Lou over you. So you had to live a hard life of, I'm sorry, Tipster, but Susie Lou won the battle. So, anyway. Hi, Jens. So, Jens, do you want to hear my cool idea about VidCon? I think you'll love this. And I should have done this at PAX, but I might do this for future generations. So, do you know how at the end of high school, how people sign a yearbook? So my plan for VidCon is to essentially make a yearbook of me's on MeMaker and kind of go through the making process and editing and then putting all the footage together and putting in a big video and doing a short. I like that idea. There is some caveats. The biggest one is rejection, right? You're gonna have people like, I'm sorry, I have to care about my health and I don't like you. We're gonna have people like that. So we have to be open-minded that there are gonna be quite a bit of rejection. Or do something like a yearbook. So hopefully I can pull that off. I hope I can get a decent amount of people. The funny thing, when I think back to the iJustine collab thing, I understand why she responded the way she did. But it came from a very gated, privileged, societal kind of thing where she's basically lost touch with her audience. And I know that some people would say, Nick, no matter what she does. Well, no matter who you are, you can make a decision, intentional or not, like Nintendo, and people will get upset. I think the biggest thing with the Direct that people were upset with was it seemed like people were making fun of. So the idea I was talking about, Zenith, is so do you know how when people graduate high school, they make a yearbook and they sign their yearbook and they be like, best wishes, blah, 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 blah. We're going to do something like that, but with me characters. What's my thoughts on Switch Sports? Resort. My biggest issue with it is, I like the sports series, right? I don't have a problem with that. But if I have to complain, and I will, I don't like that they brought back the static Mii's. It's a slap in the face. It's like, Nintendo, you made so much progress. Nintendo, what were you thinking? But I think sometimes when it comes to Nintendo's thought process, they think that controversy sells. So, yeah, I don't like those memes. But the sad thing is, like, Nintendo plays a game of, we can't always give them what they want, because if they temporarily hate us, we can win their good graces again. So, you know, there's some benefits to Tomodachi Life living the dream with its, like, 9-year aspect. So, Oh yeah, and it perfectly makes sense. Like when you see the videos of Tomodachi Life and everybody doing them, they're amazing. They're wonderful. I wish I could do half the good. My best videos on that are probably the South Park one and the one with Cream and Sonic the Rabbit. And I wish I could do more of those, but those are hard to do. And it's like, I just wish that someone could give me the designs at this point. I'm kind of just sick of trying to do it, and I just rather take my Switch 2 to the convention and just start collecting these. That was a good one. So I think my biggest complaint. So look, I love Living the Dream, and despite its flaws, it's still a fantastic game. That being said, I can't ignore the flaws. And you're like, well, what are the flaws? So my biggest flaws of Living the Dream are the lack of growth of baby characters to adults. That's a huge misstep. They treat it like a cutscene and then they're already an adult. And you're just like, why? It's like, imagine having a pregnancy, and then the pregnancy is like, we had a baby, they're an adult now. And you're just like, what? It's like, imagine a parent being ripped the joy of growth with their offspring. That's a bit of a slap in the face. Yeah, I saw that and I was like, it's like me playing The Sims 2, and it's like, you know, what I like about The Sims 2 when it comes to me characters, I can personally tailor how long my kids will stay kids. So if I want them to stay longer to get growth to be prepared for adulthood, I won't screw them over like the rest of society. So that's the one thing I love. However, is it perfect? No, it's not perfect. So, yeah. It's like, imagine having a baby and be like, oh, they're already an adult. Do you want them to move off the island or live with us? And you're just like, the next Sims coming, I can live without the Sims. You know, that franchise has really took a massive hit on itself. And look, I like The Sims. I think The Sims, when it came out, like, I will confess, like, when I was, like, a pre-adolescent, my favorite thing about Sims 1s were the gay relationships. Because it was the most controversial and shocking and hilarious. And trust me when I say this, if I had two male or female characters make out in that game, I would not show that to my parents as a kid. That's just one of those things where you kind of keep it to yourself at that age. Like, if you're 11 and you have your kid, and your characters do that, you don't do that. So, So there is one favor I want to ask of Kalaka Boy, and I want him to do, like, maybe 5 or 10 minutes of research for me. Oh, I have to do something real quick. I'll be right back, guys. I'm still here, don't worry. Alright, I'm back. Let's see the chat real quick. So I'm back. I had to use the restroom. I'm debating. I really need to get used to packing snacks on my own. I have to say, I do feel healthier walking. Like, this is really good for me, guys. Like, I really stand by saying this. I need to walk. I need to get out every day. I need to be able to be constructive with my time. And I'm happy for that. That being said, what is this favor? Oh, so the favor I was going to ask is there a way for you to do a teensy bit of research, like maybe 5, 10, 15 minutes max, and find out what content creators are going to VidCon? That's what I need to find out. I give you a bonus for finding out where they will be. I'm glad for you, Nick. You're active. Getting active again. I'm looking at the schedule, like, in passing. I definitely need to do more research on what is going on. So... we're at Lakeside right now. Oh, someone's a dog. Nice. Chocolate Lab? One of my siblings has a chocolate lab. It is? I think it should be. We don't have any replies from PAX yet, so this is a dicey situation from PAX. I'm really praying to God they accept me. I'm just like, I'm not gonna lie, like, seeing other content creators with smaller followings get accepted, like, wow, they're really changing the game again. And you're just kind of questioning, it's like, okay, this is like Pokemon Worlds. It's like, let me understand something when it comes to media badges. What is the actual process of acceptance? Because if you're gonna just pick and choose like eeny, meeny, miny, mo, like, there has to be better than that. I appreciate you sending me the link. Like, we know that there are certain people that are basically grandfathered in to get a free badge. I appreciate that, Jens. I hope you're right. So, and trust me when I say this, I would like to get back on the circuit of conventions. Like, this has definitely been a bit of an off year, but it's like, I have to say, I really love this tripod. Look, doesn't it feel good to have a tripod again? Yeah, it's time to bounce back. I think the panel had more than 100. At West, I think the West panel had like at least 150 to 200 people. Plane Rock really did bring out a big audience. I think I might get some chicken. I'm kind of like hungry for chicken. So, I'm trying to save money, but this grocery store, like, you know what? I would gladly do a video with Plane Rock. And I will try to do that short with him. We'll see if he even responds to me, honestly. This is gonna be tough. So, Plain Lock only comes in when he wants to, so he's essentially the world's best troll. It's the best way to be about it. It's like, he loves to incite reactions that get people's views and such, and that's his form of entertainment. That's who he is. Go get some chicken, Nick. Okay. So, three likes, 3 watchings. Right. I have to say, this stand is great. I'm loving this stand. Probably baked. I just do a basic roasted. I'm really trying my best to eat as clean as possible. I had put on a little weight. I know it doesn't show, like on camera sometimes, but when I weighed myself last, I went up to 168, so I'm doing everything in my power to eat healthy this summer. Part of the problem with last summer was I got very carried away. Yeah. I got very carried away with eating habits, and look, I love ice cream, but I haven't done anything to earn bad food. I haven't really exercised hardcore or anything, and you know, that's like one of the hardest things. Like, it's like me, I love to indulge, and if I get carried away, it's easy to get carried away as an adult. It's harder to get carried away as a kid when you're doing cross country because the calories melt off, but as an adult, you really have to stay on it. Yeah, grilled chicken. I mean, there are definitely specific foods you can eat. It's like, the hardest part about healthy eating as you get older is you're really talking about that one-to-one relationship with food in your body and the reaction and action kind of causation. And sometimes you'll go through periods where you're very strict on yourself with diet and exercise, and you're like, everything is fine, even if you're angry, and then the moment you start to relapse, oh, I like protein shakes. My big thing though is, and I do think this is important, is when it comes to nutritional information, it really comes down to the individual and how they use it. It's like AI. It's like, if you're going to use something, how you use it is going to be the biggest reason if it's good or bad. At this Blue Dolphin place, we're getting close to where I normally get chicken. There's also protein bars. Yeah, protein bars do a good job. They're actually cheaper. So protein bars are cheap sources of fuel. They don't definitely give as much nutrients as a full meal, but I think what the thing about a protein bar is it's a meal replacement. The idea behind a protein bar is it's supposed to, yes, I've had Quest bars. They're fine. My biggest problem is with the sugar alcohols. If I want to clear some blockage, I'll have a couple, depending on how well I use it. But to be honest, like, I've noticed over the years that my body has changed how it reacts to some of those bars, and I'm definitely taking notes on how it interacts with me. I mean, I'd rather get 300 calories with 20 grams of protein, so. Alright, let's see. I was thinking of trying to take classes for using the application Blender. This is my biggest problem is I wish I knew how to do 3D animation with the Mii characters. I see so many people take Legos and they recreate cutscenes from shows. I love fish. I love fish. I see people reenact shows, like very popular shows, and they take cutscenes and they do a fair use version with a bunch of stuff on it. Alright, so we're gonna have to put our tripod away because I'm gonna have to grab my wallet and I'm gonna have to, I don't want to go into a store. I have a big question for you guys. Do you think I should have like a set list of words like South Dakota as a joke list? Zenith, I know you think that's funny. Here we are, Lasichi Market, folks. I love salmon. You know, if I want to shred pounds quickly, I mainly will cut carbs, and I will do things to do it. But you know, there's a risk to reward ratio when it comes to that kind of like dietary eating habits. So I honestly just miss being able to eat when I was hungry when I was a lot younger. But I think definitely as I've gotten older, I've noticed how much I have to be careful of my food choice. I wish I could just eat what I want, but you know, I can only do that on few occasions. So alright, we're gonna have to get into the store, so we're gonna mute ourselves. Alright, I'll be right back, guys. Be right back. We are back. All right, so I'll show you what I got. I got a protein bar, yogurt, and what else did I get? A drink. So yeah, I got my yogurt on the side, and I'm trying to find a chair to sit down. We're trying to find, and we're not my only spot. Crud. Oh, found a spot. All right, we're at an hour and what is it? 15 minutes? Why is it that when I sit down, I automatically feel fat after walking? I hate that. Doing a new camera angle, folks. Ugh, okay. I got it down. Well, I fixed the camera angle now. Alright, Jen, let's go take it back. My protein bar. They'd probably just avoid me like a plague. I don't think they go to Big Tom. Like, oh. I brought some black beans for extra protein. But I might not need it. This is 15 grams. Some really good yogurt too. All right. So that was our lunch break. I think next time I should just pack my own snacks, but it was just nice to get a little bit of fruit. I feel like this is the time where I say South Dakota. And Zenith, you're supposed to laugh. But yeah, I'll let you know. What drink? Yeah. It's the Zero Sugar Classic Lemonade. I'm doing everything in my power to eat healthy. So I've definitely learned how triggering it can be. I might switch to chickpeas tomorrow. They will likely what? I was reading it. Nice. I'm actually friends with someone who works in HR of Square Enix. His name is Chad. He worked for Nintendo years ago. So we actually met in person in 2024 at PAX West, and then we met again at New York Comic Con, and we hung out, like very briefly. He was promoting the game as Life is Strange. I actually wanted to play that game, but I just, again, it's like adulting. All right. It says what? What was the... I actually don't. Is that closer to Anaheim or San Francisco? You're gonna have to tell me because I don't know. I have worked with Square Enix on a collaboration for Brave the Default 12 years ago. Unfortunately, I have to say the other content creator's name. I've gone through this story, but I'll go through it again. Right. One of my first major collaborations was to give away 10 Bravely Default games via digital download. And it was also to give away cards. Now, I worked with a content creator by the name of Abdallah Smash 026. I asked him how we should do it, and so I asked his advice. So I decided to give him a chance. Boy, was it one of the biggest mistakes I've ever made. So he told me the way we should give away the games is he'll give away 5 games when he gets halfway through the game, and we'll give away the other 5 when we get to the end. Boy, is he a liar. So this is what ends up happening. So he gets sort of close halfway of the game. It's really more like 40 to 35% through the game. And then he stops playing the game. So it's 2014. He stops playing the game. The last episode was dated like the end of 2014. And then it hits 2015. And if you know Abdallah, he is a major F cash cow. If he doesn't make money from something, he drops it completely and he doesn't finish it. So I decided to just give the rest of the games away. And I was like, you know what? There's no law-binding contract saying Square's telling me how I needed to give the games away. They just said give the games away however you want. And Abdallah wasn't really introduced with Square Enix, so I really had the full say in it. So Abdallah gets pissed, and he's like, what are you talking about, Nick? We had a deal. And I'm like, you know what, Abdallah? We did. And then you contractually broke by you stopped playing the game. and all I asked you was to finish the game. And it's not a hard game to play. Like, he got to level 100, right? He got to level 100. There's no excuse. There's none that he couldn't have powered through that game. He got pretty much to the point where he could have gotten to 100. If he did an hour of research, and trust me, I mean, if I probably looked up a FAQ or whatever, I could steamroll through that game pretty quickly. Obviously, I want to enjoy a game and let it unfold and unravel. I would prefer that. That's how I prefer playing games. But like, when you're an adult content creator, right? When you're an adult and you're a content creator of video games in that genre, you know, time is money. Things have to be done. If the project gets dropped, it gets dropped. However, if you make a promise to finish something and you don't see it through, it comes off as disingenuous and not good. So that's all I have to say. If I ever collab with Square Enix again, I'm making sure that I'm sticking through to playing the game and such. I don't want to collab with someone who's just going to lie to my face again. And then I'm just like, I'll just never forget. Nick, I lost those Bravely Default cards. Can you send me more? No. You got the cards I sent you. I'm not sending you any more. Nick, I lost the Cat Mario ears. Could you send them? No. You lost them. I sent you 2 pairs. It's like, Nintendo didn't send me the ears to give to you. Nintendo sent the ears to me to give away to group members for my Street Pass group. You took something that you asked for politely, and I obliged, and then you try to take advantage of me. So, and that was multiple times. He took advantage of me a lot. He took advantage of me at E3, took advantage of me at PAX. So I'm sorry to say, it's like, I have to vent when I have to vent. It's like, it's my mini vent stream. It's like, it's really sad because it's damaged my ability to collaborate with people. I've had to really just like rewind back on my thoughts about collabing and like, look, if I collaborate with someone, I try to do it as painlessly as possible without much investment. Because if I have to invest and the person lies or it goes poorly and I don't have fun, then it's a pain in the ass. And it's like, we're at a point in YouTube where people want more than what they want out of collaboration. So anyway, nice. So, yeah. Although I have to laugh, like, look, I'm really upset for his mom passing away. But when he did that Nintendo Direct the next day, it was like, my mom passed away, boo hoo hoo hoo, here's a Direct. And I'm just like, okay, well, mixed messages. I guess you have to go back to work while your mom's gone. It's like, I don't understand it, but meanwhile, YouTube does not respect me as a content creator. That's just the truth. Restoration, okay. Alright, what are we at on, okay, I have to throw my yogurt cup away. Alright, so what's my phone charge at? 22%. Alright, so we're enjoying the view. It's a lovely view. You know, Nintendo's headquarters is over there. So I actually did a video outside their headquarters, which was kind of nice. Okay, I ate protein, I drank some water, I'm staying good. Alright, we're getting close to where I need to go. My lemon drink. I think when I go to VidCon, I'm gonna just pack my own lunches and bring my own refillable water bottle. I have to really budget everything effectively. If I end up going to VidCon, I have one last favor to ask. This is very 50-50 at this point. It's really gonna come down to my friend coming, and it's like if I can get assistance with transportation, I'm in the clear. If I can't, I have to cancel. I have to just accept it. I'm really just at a point where I don't know how to make progress right now. And people try to make the jokes about journeys and be like, oh, the journey's about taking the experience. Like, if the experience doesn't give any fruits of labor, you're screwed. That's how adulthood works. It's like, you can enjoy your life for what it is, you can do whatever you want, but if you don't start having the payoffs, it's like, I don't know what to tell you. You've gotten to a destination and you can't even take in the experience. It's just the truth. It's like how I felt about running street pass groups. It's like, no spots, no Fidos, keep it clean, no bare bones. Okay. So, alright, so we're gonna do an attendance check. Who's here in chat? Alright, Alfred, you're first place with 325 points. Kalaka Boy, you have 200 experience points. Zenith, third for 200. I believe so, yep. And Oliver has 25, and who's your girl in dead last? So let's see real quick. Yeah, Alfred's first. Wow, impressive. And I can't even tell when the last time Alfred's actually spoke. It's been like at least over an hour. But, you know, you don't have to come to the entire stream. I know Alfred's in Germany, so it's like, what, like 9 o'clock there right now? Let's do this. It's midnight in Germany. That would make sense. What time is it where you are, Zenith? $11 p.m. Nice. Burping a lot. So I'm probably gonna take a break on ice cream for a little bit. Oh, I wish. You know, there was like a SpongeBob or Sonic thing I wanted. I'm gonna pass on it for a bit. Alright, let's see what our phone charge is at. We're at 19%. Alright, so I'm kind of getting to the point in the walk where I'm gonna need to charge my phone. I'll probably be back to do a second stream of the day. My goal is to try to live stream every day as much as I can and to stay consistent with walks. So hopefully I can gain some momentum. This is very tough, this is very difficult, but I know I can push through. I have to keep trying, no matter what the negative voices say, no matter what the negative people are in the world. You will? Okay, cool. So Madrona Pollinator Garden. Getting to the part that I don't like the most. So I'm gonna have to end stream here to charge phone. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. I will see you again soon. Bye. And our top fans are Alfred Smeg at first with 325, Zenith 225, Kalaka Boy 200, Oliver 225, who's your girl 10. Thank you so much for watching. Bye, Con. Bye.